Today we're going to do all the things, but one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to talk about approximately 50 ideas from the Great Depression era on how to be more frugal. Hello everyone and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. We're all about pantry preparedness, all about it. Yes, we are. Because I believe that your pantry is the best insurance that money can buy. And we're going to prove that point a little bit here today. I have a partner in crime who is going to be having some pretty extensive oral surgery coming up here. And for a very long time, he is not going to be able to eat anything that can't be cut with a plastic fork. Yeah. So whatever it is, he can eat anything he wants as long as he can cut it with a plastic fork. This is going to be so much fun, but one of the things that I know for sure is that he likes waffles, okay? So I am going to create some waffles that we can heat up, and then he can douse in whatever he wants, and you can totally cut a waffle with a plastic fork. Yes, you can. And so that will give him at least a little bit of normalcy, you know, as far as food is concerned, and it's high in protein, which will help with healing and all of the other fun stuff. But I thought we would talk about some Depression era habits, some things that we can do that'll save us some money. Let's get started. Not everybody is going to be able to do everything, and that's fine, okay? We all have different circumstances, whether it is where we live, our age, our, any number of things. So do what you can from the list, adopt what you want to from the list, and go from there, Don't overthink it. Don't make it too hard. But we're going to divide it into a few different categories because I think that makes it easier for everybody, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about food related because it's food, okay? And gosh, that was a super scarce thing during the Depression. The Depression in the beginning of the 19th century. Something that, we definitely have to take into consideration. Do I think that we will have rationing and stuff like that like we did back then? No, because they had real food. We have manufactured food. I don't think there's going to be a rationing problem. They may ration toilet paper, right? But that's about it. So, I wouldn't worry too much about rationing. I really wouldn't. Where's my whisk? Right here. Okay, so we're going to mix this all up. I am using that Kodiak. I am using this, yes, to make him waffles. I mentally just think that waffles are easier to make for the freezer. I'm sure that pancakes are too, so I'm sure I will make some of those also. But anything I can do that will make it easier on him, and it's higher in protein, so I might be able to sneak one or two here or there. Also, we'll see. Anyway, let's talk about food. So one of the things that you can do is to grow some vegetables. Yeah, I know, right? Plant your own produce to supplement your grocery shopping, okay? Because even if it's a little bit is better than nothing. And if we cannot get the stuff from wherever, because it's a flip-flop contest right now, okay? Then at least we'll have it in our yard maybe, So it's always good to learn how to plant something because it doesn't matter where you are, unless you live in a basement with no windows. And at that point, I think you have bigger problems. But honestly, anybody can grow something. The next thing to look at is canning and preserving excess food. That's what we do, right? We can and we preserve because that way you don't have it just for today. You have it for tomorrow. And that is so important. And you know what's in it, which is equally as important. I'm probably overfilling these. We're going to see how much of a mess I can make. It's going to be great. Waffles. Okay, so canning, preserving, dehydrating, all of that, that's part of it. Dehydrating herbs, fruits, vegetables for later use, it's great. You can dehydrate meats. They're not necessarily reliably shelf stable. Same goes for eggs, okay? I've always done it. I don't care. Okay, I'm telling you the safety thing. And if you want to find out more about the safety part of it, check out my friend at the Purposeful Pantry, Darcy. She is the queen of dehydrating. Yes, she is. You know, I say it, meal planning, meal planning. I know, just do a blueprint. Okay, do a basic, figure out 5, 10 things, something like that, rotate them through. Next one is to utilize leftovers. And that can be part of your meal planning. That can be a really big part of your meal planning. So utilize those leftovers. If you are single and you know how to cook for two, okay, then you have leftovers. So figure out how to freeze them, figure out how to use them, incorporate them in later in the week. Do all that right? Buying in bulk, always. I always say buying in bulk is a great thing to do if you have the space for it, if it's food that you actually eat, and if the price is actually better than buying in regular quantity, okay? And then learning to cook from scratch. So important. And it's not hard. It's really not hard. So if you're having trouble, learning how to cook from scratch, let me know. Kick me an email or something like that. I can definitely add it to, the playlist, but I kind of take it for granted that people know this, and people don't, because for generations now, they have been taking away our ability to do this, our knowledge to do this, because it's always more convenient, right? You want to do convenience because we need both of you in the workforce. Totally not for everybody, and I get that, because it's not necessarily totally cheaper, but there are some benefits to it. I think one of the most expensive ways to get eggs is to have chickens, okay? Because you have to feed them, you have to house them, you have to make sure they stay healthy, all that fun stuff. But in return, you get compost and you get eggs, and if one of them really ticks you off, you get dinner. Let's talk about home management, because home is where the heart is, right? Okay, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that we have our homes, that we have what we need around us, that we keep that roof over our head and the wolves at bay, and our home provides that for us, okay? So definitely look at repair instead of replace. That's a huge, huge thing. You can repair a lot of stuff, So repairing instead of replacing will save you a good chunk of money. Mending clothes. People don't know how to do this anymore, but hemming them, fixing a zipper, putting a patch on, doing all the things. Mending clothes is going to save you a whole bunch of money, and it definitely extends its lifespan a lot, a whole bunch. So keep an eye on that. And, if he doesn't mind wearing a pair of Holy jeans while he's working in the yard, let him wear a pair of Holy jeans while he's working in the yard. Reusable items. Yeah. You want to look for things to incorporate into your world that are more about reusable instead of one use, one-time use. You use reusable bags, containers, cleaning cloths, anything like that. Instead of Clorox wet wipes, get a little bit of bleach and some water and some washcloths, and you can do it anytime you want. It doesn't require extra plastic that's got to be thrown out. It doesn't require spending extra money. You can get a whole bottle of bleach for the same price as one container of like 70 Clorox cleanup, wipes. Yeah, you'll save a ton of money right there. Energy efficiency. Like I said, this is huge on my mind right now. I am running 3 heat lamps over baby chicks, and I know that my electric bill, which is already stupid, is going to get so much worse. Yes, but got to do it because, chickens. But turn off lights and electronics when not in use, and adjust your thermostat. I had a few of you mention something about you turn your heat down to 62 at night. Oh my gosh, 68, yes, but not 62. And then there was 65, and then there, so you turn it down to the temperature that you're the most comfortable with. I can't sleep when it's really super hot. Neither can Phil. Phil has ruined me. I used to be able to sleep without a fan on. Now the ceiling fan has to be on. But most of the time we heat with wood. So somebody busted me on a personal picture and said, "Is your thermostat set at 77? And I went, that's what it's reading. But No, that's what it is at the moment because of the wood stove. It's not that temperature because I pay for propane that high, you know. So you want to find your comfort level. I knew a dude once. Right? And he spent an entire winter testing out his resolve to keep his heat at 59 in his house. I'm like, no, that's too cold. He did just fine. It is all about the work that you want to put into it, the effort that you want to make, and whether or not you think it's worth it. Okay, the green light's on. Let it go. There we go. You have to make those decisions on what works best for you. So, and the good news is, the really good news is that spring is coming. Spring is coming. Yes, it's going to be so much nicer for like a hot minute. When we're talking about things like air conditioning, we had this discussion, so I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it. But I'm like, is there really any difference between having fans going than it is having the central air going? I don't think so. Do you? I'm wondering. I'm really wondering. I'm thinking that they probably use pretty close to the same amount of energy, and so I wouldn't be saving any money, but the dog would be hotter, and I know I would. But typically, I don't want to turn on my air for me. I mean, I can cool off by going outside or drinking cold water. But Coco, no, she's not going to go for that. That dog is hot in the dead of winter. So energy efficient, figure out how to cut back on those things. I'm going to go around this weekend and unplug everything. Yeah, well, everything that's pulling that phantom juice. I want to see what the difference is and how much it drives me crazy not having my batteries ready when I want them. Next, we're going to look at water conservation. Yeah. Depending on where you live, this is a serious topic. So give it its due. Pay attention to what's going on. You want to fix any faucets that might be leaking. That's going to knock your bill out if you're hooked up to city water. If you have a well, it's going to mess with your pump. You just can't be dripping water all the time like that. Shorten those showers. We talked about it. Learn to take a 5-minute shower. In, out. Somebody in the comment section mentioned that they put a timer on their hot water heater. So it turns off at night and comes back on in the morning. So I have Phil investigating that right now. Because I do keep our water pretty hot. That's how I want it, to kill germs and stuff, right? But I'm thinking, okay, I want to see what kind of a difference this makes by having a timer on my hot water heater. I'll bring you guys along for that one. The next one is homemade cleaning products. Seriously, keep it simple. You don't need Windex. You need vinegar and newspaper. You need a little bit of bleach to clean bathrooms and stuff like that. You don't need all the frou-frou smell and stuff because that's not clean. That's covered up. So yeah, try to stay as natural as you can. Not only is it better for us, it's better for the environment. It's a great thing. Budgeting. She just keeps talking about budgeting. I know she does. I know. So budgeting, it's big. Create a strict budget and stick to it. Gamify it if it makes you feel better, okay? Turn it into a challenge to yourself, I get the little parts that come off. Anyway, you can make it happen. No, it's not a lot of fun. You can make it more fun. You can make it more of a challenge. Do you like a good challenge? I love a good challenge. But money typically sucks. And it's just one of those things we have to do. Avoid impulse purchasing. If you find yourself scrolling Amazon in the middle of the night or when you're bored or whatever, take it off your phone. Take it off your phone, okay? Take those things off where they're easy to access. If you're going to go purchase something, make sure you have to work to do it, okay? Make sure that you have to actually turn on the main computer, boot it up, remember the password, do all that stuff, get on there, remember the password again. Make sure that you have to work for it. Don't make it so accessible that it's in your fingertips when you're bored. It's like having, chocolate cake in the house. You're going to pick at it. Yeah. Thrift stores. I love thrift stores, but I can remember thrift stores being kind of a problem for me too. They were, because I thought, oh, great, it's a great deal. I can't pass up this deal. That's a great deal. And then it sat there doing nothing until I donated it to the thrift store. That doesn't save anybody any money, okay? Bartering is absolutely something that you can do. You can trade services and goods for services and goods. No money exchanges hands. Everybody's happy except Uncle Sam. I don't really care about him too much right now. So, yeah, bartering. Saves time, saves money, makes it happen. Compare prices. This is tricky, okay? But for this one, you're going to need your computer. Is it cheaper here or is it cheaper here? Do I have to factor in shipping? Can I go just pick it up? How much is gas? How far do I have to drive to go get it? You know, you have to do all of that when you're comparing prices. But it can be worth it for the right deal, for the right amount. Sharing resources like tools and, you know, equipment, that kind of thing is great. It's really great. If you've got some trusted friends and neighbors, you know, and Mr. Smith has a leaf blower and you have a lawnmower and Mr. Jones has a snow blower, why does everybody have to own one? They don't, you know. So being able to share resources with neighbors and friends, it's a great thing to happen. Community gardens. Do you have a community garden in your area? Inquiring minds want to know. I know they're becoming more and more popular. And I think that they have some definite merit if you don't have the ability for space to grow stuff where you are, you know, and it's also a great way to get to learn more stuff and to meet gardeners, because how do you build a community? You have to people to meet your people. Yes, you do. How better to do it than a community garden? That's fantastic. You want to walk or bike wherever you can. Now, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, okay? So I'm not going to bike there and I'm not going to walk there, but I do make it a point to walk, not bike yet, but to walk whenever I can. I have tormented Phil and said, drop me on this end of the parking lot and I'll meet you at the store, you know, because I can do it. And after spending quite a few years of not being able to do it, that's hugely important to me, to prove to myself consistently and regularly that I can do it, that I'm capable of doing it. I highly recommend biking and walking as much as humanly possible. The next one, collecting rainwater. I know there are some areas where you're not supposed to, or you're supposed to only for a certain amount, but anytime that you can collect rainwater, you're saving money when it comes to gardening, you're saving money when it comes to livestock, depending on where you're getting it from. You know, there are great uses for saving water. Some of your gray water, if you don't use toxic chemicals to do your laundry or your dishes, that gray water is phenomenal. It's absolutely great for being able to water plants or, you know, that kind of thing. Don't feed it to your animals. But yeah, collecting rainwater. Oh, we're going to kick this off. It's going to be fantastic. So let's get ready. We're going to rock right through this so that it doesn't take 4 hours to happen, okay? Start a compost pile. Compost pile is amazing. It's huge. So easy to do. There are all kinds of directions all over the internet for it, okay? But a compost pile, it gives you dirt. It reuses stuff that would normally fill a landfill that shouldn't be in there. A compost pile. Next, create a seed bank. How do I do that? You order some seeds. Yeah, save some. Make it a bank. As long as you keep them cool, dark, dry, they're good. So find a little spot in your refrigerator. It works fantastic. Yeah. Start a seed bank. Work together with some of your friends. Check out your local library. A lot of local libraries are now starting to do seed banks, so check in with them too. Next one, build a rain garden. Design a garden, okay, that naturally collects and filters rainwater. It can be done. It can be done. Host a clothing swap. Hey, everybody, if you have kids age 0 to 20, we're doing a clothing swap. Come on by, you know, but pull in people from the community, adult women, adult men, whoever, do a clothing swap. It's a great way to get rid of stuff that you can no longer use or want and find some stuff to replace it if need be. Clothing swaps, great way to make it happen, okay? Next one is to cook in batches, kind of like that, yep. Okay, so I am making waffles once and we're going to eat them continuously for a while. But cook in batches. Prepare meals in large portions and freeze the extra items. Work one time hard and skate for a little while. You know, it's a great thing. Cultivate windowsill herbs. You have windowsills? Put a pot. Put a pot on there. If you have cats, secure it. And grow some herbs. It's not hard, okay? You have to remember to water it. That's the biggest thing. Homemade insect repellent. They're out there, and they work pretty darn good, I might add, because summer's coming. Did you know that you can brew your own beverages? I swear, I know you guys knew that. Come on, don't be silly. Brew your own beverages. Experiment with kombucha, iced tea, homemade lemonade. You know, my mother, I grew up on homemade lemonade. That's some serious good stuff right there, okay? And it's pucker power if my mother made it. So, yes, learn how to make your own beverages. You don't have to buy packets of this, packets of that. You know, ignore my container of packets back there. Anyway, brew your own beverages and upcycle old furniture. This is one of my favorite things to do ever. I love upcycling old furniture. You can do this. You can find them for free on the curb. You can go to the thrift store and find them for a couple bucks. You can take furniture that you have around the house and upcycle that, make it something better, you know. Learn to do it yourself. Not only is it an amazing skill, it lets you get that creative energy out without spending a whole bunch of money. It's fantastic. Do you make your own candles? You can make your own candles off of a plethora of different things, right? Create candles with beeswax or soy. You know, that way you've got ambiance. You know, you can scent them to your preference, and it doesn't cost nearly as much as buying them. Start a barter journal. Yes, a barter journal. Okay, so just keep a record. That's basically what it is. Keeping a record of goods and services you can exchange with other people. So if you run across somebody that knows how to do this and somebody that knows how to do that, and you know how to do C, you know, write it all down. Don't count on your memory. Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't count on your memory. But create a journal, and then if somebody says, oh gosh, I need this and I just can't afford it right now, you can go, hang on, I might have a solution for you. And you might be able to connect them with the person that they can barter with. A barter journal. Be that person that everybody comes to when they're trying to find something. It's huge. Learn basic carpentry. You don't have to build a house. Okay, I'm talking basic carpentry. Learn how to use a saw, how to hammer a nail without taking out, you know, a digit. All that kind of fun stuff. Basic carpentry will serve you so well for so long, and it's a skill that nobody can take away from you. It's great. The next one you want to do is see if you can establish a community tool library. We talked about this briefly the other day, and these are hot. And yeah. And if your library doesn't have one, maybe talk to your librarian and see if it's something that, you know, they would be interested in. Maybe you could help them head it up, because half the time, nobody wants to hear your ideas. They want to hear how you're going to help make that happen, okay? How are you going to help bring this idea of yours to fruition? Or do you expect everyone to do it for you? If that's what you expect, you're in a world of hurt. I'm telling you right now. Not going to happen, because most of these people are overworked and underpaid anyway, okay? So definitely talk to your library. See about putting together a community tool library. It's so cool. I love this idea so much. I know I just mentioned it, but it's so good. Grow microgreens. We did, my buddies and I did a very, very quick little collaboration a few years ago on growing microgreens. It is not super difficult, but you do have to be very conscientious about it, because, you know, if you don't do it right, you can make yourself sick. So grow microgreens. Use a small indoor tray to cultivate, nutrient dense. They're so nutrient dense, yes. And if it kills you the way that they taste, throw some ranch on them. I don't know what to tell you, you know. Explore solar cooking if it seems like it's a good idea for your area. I have opinions about this. A solar cooker, I'm not spending the money on it because, you know, 4 or 5 months out of the year, it's too darn cold and I don't have any sun. And not having any sun is the key there. And I really don't care about solar cooking when it's 80 degrees out, because I've got a grill and I grill, you know. So, but if it's something that you think interests you, try a solar oven to harness the sun's energy and make yourself something scrumptious to eat, right? Definitely swap babysitting duties. If you've got friends, family, whatever, that are taking care of little ones, right? Trade childcare services with other parents in your community. It makes sense that you don't have to bring in a third person, you know? If you trade and don't take advantage of each other, it works beautifully. Forage for wild edibles, because somebody always tells me to do this. Somebody always tells me to do this, okay? Forage for wild edibles. They're out there. They are. You guys know me. I'm a canner. Make your own jams and jellies. Stop buying that stuff at the store. It's so much better when you make it at home. A really cool thing to do is to host some Skillshare workshops. This is something you can do in conjunction with your library or your community center, or just, hey, a bunch of friends, okay? Skillshare workshops. So if Bob knows how to work wood and Tim knows how to hammer and Susie knows how to weld, get together, teach each other how to do it all. And it's not just for, those examples. Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to bake? There's a lot of people that don't know how to bake. There's a lot of people who don't know how to cook. There's a lot of people who don't know how to poach an egg. Get together, show each other how it's done. When it comes to dogs, you can make your own pet food. Cats is a lot harder. There's a very specific recipe from what I'm told. So I don't even try. But with dogs, it's super easy to make your own dog food. Check out some reputable resources, okay? You make it out of real food. And it can be stuff that you stock in your pantry for you along with them. Are you all about aesthetics? Is that why you don't make ugly chicken? Go ahead, tell me the truth. Okay, but aesthetics. If you like decorating, if how the inside of your house looks matters, because it matters to most of us, then definitely you can create homemade decor. Absolutely you can. There's entire industries out there showing you how to do it, okay? So you can do it to your liking. You can go bebopping around on Pinterest, the devil website, right? Or wherever, and you can figure out how to make it yourself for less than if you went to buy it someplace. So homemade decor is a thing. I didn't buy curtains forever. Why would I buy curtains when it's actually cheaper for me to go buy yards of material, hem it, okay, put the pocket on top to run the rod through, and poof, I have curtains, pillowcases, the whole shebang, right? The whole shebang. You can make those yourself for pennies on the dollar. And if you can find a really good sale on fabric, I hear there's a fabric store going out of business right now. It's a great way to save some money. Do you have the right location for building something like a root cellar? I've seen people make them out of freezers, chest freezers that are submerged, galvanized trash cans that are submerged, or dig a hole, It's possible. So if you can, it's a pretty cool thing to do. Now, for those young moms and grandmoms and pops and grandpops and everybody, right? Embrace cloth diapers. Seriously, embrace cloth diapers. You are going to save a ton of money. It's going to be disgusting because little humans are disgusting, okay? And it's better all the way around for everything. I think the only thing that I saw is like if the kids have eczema, I guess it might be a problem. I just saw something about that recently. But otherwise, cloth diapers, embrace them. And they have a multitude of uses aside from baby butts. Learn how to make some homemade pasta. Check with me next week. We're going to be making some homemade pasta. It's going to be a lot of fun. So much fun. It's one of those things that I promised myself I was going to do this year. Even if I don't do it all the time, I'm still going to do it, right? Homemade pasta. Organize free community movie nights. Okay, meaning grab your friends and your family and invite them over and watch it on one of those, sheets hanging in the backyard. Because otherwise there's copyright laws and stuff like that. But if your community, like your local CVB or Chamber of Commerce, hosts movie nights, it's an awesome thing to do. We've been doing it for a long time in this area, and they do it right down by the beach. You can go watch movies. It is reminiscent of drive-ins. Okay, so use some hand crank gadgets. Now, I used a whisk, right, to beat up my pancake mix because who wants to pull out a blender and all that? Not me, I don't. So whenever you can, use non-electric appliances like manual coffee grinders and blenders, that kind of thing, because it's really good to know that you don't need the electricity to get the job done. Start a worm farm. I cannot highly recommend this enough. I am having more fun with my worms this winter. Yeah, I've got worms. I'll show you a picture right here. Worms, they're so cool. I haven't named them because I can't tell them apart, but you know, maybe one day, okay? Definitely create a book swap corner. Not only are there those little libraries that people build, right? My grandson for his Eagle Scout project built one. And different people have them out in front of their houses or wherever. Yeah, swapping books is a great way to save some money. And that's coming from somebody who is an avid book collector. Yeah. Have you tried making your own soap? It's not as hard as you think. It's actually pretty easy. And you can make a whole bunch for very little. And you can make it the way you like it, smelling the way you like it, right? I love making my own soap. Try making your own soap. Ditch disposable tableware. I'm so guilty of this. I really am. But I'm intentionally not restocking it right now because it's money, you know? So invest in durable, reusable cutlery and plates for every single meal. Yeah, you got to wash them. I know. Nothing that I enjoy quite as much as washing dishes. Yeah. Learn shoe repair. Oh my gosh. Is that something that's like totally out of yesterday? Nobody repairs them anymore. They just throw them out and get new ones. No, you can still repair them. You can still make a pair of shoes last a really long time. Yes, you can. So learn some form of shoe repair. They have stuff on the internet. And they have a product that you can purchase that actually will help with that. I talked about it one time before. But practice shoe repair, you guys. It's great. Experiment with some natural dyes if you're into knitting or crocheting or anything like that. Get the plain stuff, dye it yourself. Find an old linen tablecloth, dye it yourself. Find the natural dyes. You can do a lot of really cool stuff with it, and it's totally unique. Participate in repair cafes. Now, they're calling it a cafe, but basically it's on the internet, okay? Find a repair cafe. It's a community event dedicated to fixing household items together. Now, I think that this would be amazing in person. This would be really cool in person. That'd be a really great event. But you can go around and learn how to fix different stuff at the different booths, right? Or discuss it in the online community and get directions on how to do it if you can't figure it out. It's great. Plant a fruit tree. My gosh, if you have the opportunity, plant a fruit tree. It's going to take a couple, 3 years anyway. Plant the tree, okay? And then you can enjoy the fruits of your labor for many, many years. Definitely try curing meat. I have a video where I showed how to make your own corned beef from any cut of beef. It's so good. It's so easy. And I have to do it again because I had to take it down for another reason. But learn how to cure your own meat. It's not hard. It's another skill. And it's all about skills. Can you build a mini greenhouse? If you have any options at all, it's so easy to build a mini greenhouse. You don't need a huge one. It doesn't need to be a hoop house. Okay? It's just a mini greenhouse. And it's easy. And you can often do it with recycled products. Grind your own spices. Number one, they last longer in, your long-term storage if they're the whole spice. And then when you need them, you pull them out and you grind them. Grind your own spices. Mortar and pestle, super simple. A rock, super simple. Okay? There's a way to grind your own spices. Definitely. Invest in some multi-purpose tools. The tools that can perform multiple tasks around the house. So it's not just for one thing, it's for a whole bunch. I'm going to burn the last ones. I didn't. Okay. I'm so busy talking, you guys, I forgot about the waffles. Okay, we got the first batch is done. I will show you that. Definitely organize some potluck dinners. Find some people. Find some people. Create a potluck dinner. It's a great way to save money. It's a great way. And you get to visit people. Experiment with some oil lamps. Just owning them with the intention of using them in case anything happens. No, experiment using them because otherwise you'll end up with a ceiling full of black smut. It's not fun. They're handy. They're really awesome outside in the summertime. You can put citronella oil in them. They make a great atmosphere. Yeah. we may be using them in the near future. Discover some DIY natural remedies. I was joking with somebody, it turns out that I'm allergic to surgical tape. I'm like, this is the person who has the ironclad skin that has never used anything aside from isopropyl alcohol as an astringent. And I'm allergic to surgical tape? Are you kidding me? Figure out how to make your own natural remedies, okay? Treatments for minor ailments with ingredients from your garden. They're out there. They're definitely out there. You want to learn sewing machine maintenance. If you have a sewing machine, learn how to use it, learn how to fix it, okay? I've got that old treadle in the corner. I have backup stuff for it and a base working knowledge on how to make it work better and printed out instructions on how to troubleshoot. So you definitely want to learn basic sewing machine maintenance unless you plan on never sewing regardless of how bad life gets. Practice mindful spending. Yeah, I know. Easier said than done. Take Amazon off of your phone. Take Etsy off of your phone. Take whatever else off of your phone, okay? That will help you not as easily just mindlessly spend, okay? But review your purchases, prioritize long-term needs, okay? Gamify it if you have to, and get over those fleeting wants. Leave it in the cart. I mentioned it for a hot minute the other day. Embrace a zero-waste lifestyle. Figure out a way to waste nothing. And the easiest way to explain this is like this, okay? I had to buy eggs, so they came in a carton. Great, I use all the eggs. What do I do with the egg shells? Personally, I'm feeding them to the worms. The worms love them, okay? Next, what do I do with this? I turn this into something to start seeds. Look at that, I didn't waste a darn thing. The more that we can adopt that kind of mindset, the better the whole planet's going to be. It spurs those creative juices, and you save money because you don't have to go out and buy seed starting trays or grit for the worms. It's really good. I hope that some of these ideas were helpful. I hope that maybe one or two resonate with you that you can try. If you do one currently, throw it in the comments section down below. Tell me how you like it. If there's one you want to try, throw it in the comments section down below. Let me know. I'm interested in finding out what interests you because I know there's a couple in here that I'm definitely going to start taking on. I do quite a few of them, but we can always do more to save more. And it's a great thing because you never know when the next Great Depression might happen. Until next time, everybody, if you want to see more ways to have a frugal pantry, check out this playlist right here. And until next time, be safe, stack it to the rafters, my friends. Waffles.